Hey y'all, Kayla McG here. How y'all doing? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. I'd just like to say, AJ, I just saw your video, and thank you so much. I had a nice time with you today too, and it has been a while, because like you said, real friends are hard to come by, and she's also correct about that. If you haven't seen her video, check it out. It's called "How Kayla McG is a Real Friend." But if you've already seen her video, she and I met in theater class when we were in high school. She was a senior when I was a sophomore. And there was only a 2-year graduating difference there. So, I mean, we hit it off right away. Yeah, she was older than I was at the time. But this is going to come as a shock to y'all, but when I was new into high school, I barely had any friends. And AJ and I both liked acting. And we did a couple of skits together, which I wrote the scripts for. We did a Bloody Mary skit, and we did a box skit. Now, the box had to be this mystery. It could be anything that you wanted to in the box. But when it came to the Bloody Mary one, I'm not going to say it a third time, just in case. Because this is the Halloween month. Anyway, with You Know What, I played You Know Who. Because I can be very creepy when I want to. But I won't, because it's late. And I won't creep y'all out. But if you ever want to see my creepy faces or want to hear my creepy voices, let me know down in the comments below. And I'll make a video on my voices that I can do. So, again, if you want to see my spooky faces and hear my cool voices that I can do, leave it down in the comments below. But anyway, back to AJ. She and I were friends. We have been friends for 4 years now. 4 long years. And she was right. I will take time out of my day to talk to her. Because everybody needs someone they can talk to, like if they're upset or if they're just bored out of their skulls. They need someone to talk to. Someone that can cheer them up if they're having a bad day. I had to move a fork out of the way. Anyway, it was this fork. Anyway, they need someone they can talk to, someone they trust. If you all saw my 3 relationship steps, trust is one of the steps. But anyway, back to this. I know I'm bouncing around from topic to topic right now. I apologize for that. But, AJ and I am glad that I met her. Because this also comes to a shock. It might come as a shock to y'all. But I may be happy and giggly now. But when I was in high school for a brief time, I was actually bullied. It's crazy, I know. And to this day, I still remember the girl's name. Taylor Fletcher. Oh boy. Talking about her makes my blood boil, but I will keep my temper down for you guys. But let me explain what happened with that. She pretended to be my friend. But she was just a bully. She would intentionally sit behind me every single day in class. And she would do something to piss me off. Because she knew it would get to me. She did that every day. Yeah, I loved going to Mr. Alexander, or Mr. A's theater class. But when I saw Taylor every single time, it made me furious. It made me scared because I didn't want to sit behind her, next to her. I didn't want to be this close to her face. That's how bad it was. And one time, excuse me. One time in theater class, I was just sitting there doing my own thing, and I had told Mr. A, I gotta move this damn fork again. Anyway, I had told Mr. A that Taylor was bothering me, that she was doing things to make me mad. And Taylor sorry. Mr. A told Taylor not to sit near me. And then one day in class, You can guess what she did. She sat near her. She sat right behind me. And she started pushing my chair, kicking the back of it, starting to annoy me. I told her, you're not supposed to sit near me. And Mr. A said, you're not supposed to sit near me. And she's like, well, what are you going to do about it? You going to make me? Freak. You know, she kept saying things that made me madder and madder and madder and madder. I was this close, y'all, to punching her in the face. But all I did, and I didn't mean to say it this loudly, but I told her to shut up. And that caught Mr. A's attention. And after class, he pulled Taylor and I aside. And he's like, okay, what's going on? I've tried to separate you two, but it just seems, Caleb, what happened? And Taylor made up this bullshit story that I started it. I didn't start anything. And Mr. A believed her over me. And I knew that he really liked me. He knew that I wouldn't do anything to disrupt class. I was quiet. I kept to myself. I did my work. He believed him over me. Her over me. My bad. Anyway, he believed her over me. So, there were only 2 other girls left in class. I was sitting at the very bottom, near the pit. And I started crying because out of all of my teachers, every other teacher believed what I said, except for Mr. A that day. I started crying. And 2 of my friends came over to me and they were like, Kayla, what's wrong? And I said, nothing, it's fine, I'm fine. And they said, no, you're not fine, what's wrong? And then I cried, sobbing gasp. I told them what was wrong. And they came up to me and they hugged me and they said, oh, don't worry about her, honey. Taylor's just a bitch. She's just jealous of how smart you are. And they comforted me for a minute. And once I calmed down, I told them thank you and that I really appreciated them helping me. And they said, no problem, sweetie. Listen, just ignore Taylor. She's a bitch anyway. She doesn't deserve to be here. You didn't do anything wrong. If she ever does that again, just ignore her. I took their advice, and finally, Taylor graduated. But she didn't graduate in my class, thank God. But AJ, during that time, she was there for me. And she comforted me and calmed me down when she knew I wanted to punch Taylor in the face. She knew I wanted to torture that girl, bully her back, but I'm not that kind of person. I wasn't that kind of person back then, and I'm not that kind of person now. I am not the kind of person to belittle someone or talk like I'm above them or anything like that. I am not that kind of girl. Yeah, I may have high-functioning autism and ADHD. I may look like a neurotypical, someone who doesn't have special needs. But just because I look that way doesn't mean that people can jump to conclusions. Now, for any of my subscribers, any of you guys, if you have any special needs, don't hide it. Yeah, don't be inappropriate, but, embrace it. For years and years and years, when I was in my teens and when I was young, I was convinced that my autism was bad and it was wrong. I was convinced I wished that there was a pill to get rid of it. I told my mom that over and over. But, hang on a second. Okay. I told my mom that over and over. And she said, well, everybody feels that way. And I thought to myself, not everybody has what I have. But then a couple of years later, when I went to Woodrow Wilson in Fishersville, I realized that my autism and my ADHD, they make me who I am. They make me, one of my traits, the reason I have such a good memory, and the reason I can quote movies, and all that other stuff, is because of my special needs. Yeah, it's high functioning, But, you know, it makes me who I am. I am who I am, and I have the friends that I have, and I have the boyfriend that I have the love of my life because of it. And Matt, if you see this video, I will always have love for you, even as a friend. And babe, if you watch this, I love you lots. Anyway, everyone is who they are because of what they have. If you have, let's say you have multiple personalities, right? Those personalities, like I saw a video on Facebook. This girl had 7 different personalities for each day of the week. She was a different person for each day. And that's kind of what my autism is, but I don't have multiple personality disorder. But anyway, I'm jumping too far ahead. I'm jumping from topic to topic like leapfrog. Doing, 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 doing. And I might be a little bit hyper off this Mountain Dew here, but back on topic. AJ, originally Arianna, I give this shout out to you because you were there for me when I needed you. You were there for me when Taylor bullied me. And you thought the same thing I did, basically, that she needed to be punished. But, AJ, I just want to say thank you for being there for me. And you are a true friend, too. And it's not easy to find a friend like you. And sis, if you see this relates to you, too. If any of y'all I know in real life, thank you guys for being there for me. I really appreciate it. And everybody, all my subscribers, thank y'all for keeping my channel up and running. And hopefully we can get up to 100. Let's try and get up to that 100, guys. Okay? Because the more videos that I can do, excuse me, the more videos I do, and the more of y'all subscribe to my channel, hit that like button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more of my videos like this. You know, let's get it up there, guys. So, as always, before I go, AJ, thank you for being my friend. I'm glad I met you. I had fun today. We need to do it again sometime. Excuse me, I'm having the burps today. But anyway, y'all, AJ, thanks again. Have a great day and a great weekend. And I'll see you.